One of the most urgent public health and environmental challenges facing India today. It's no longer a future threat, but a lived reality of millions of Indians breathing toxic air. The consequences are grave, but only an informed citizen can demand urgent action, and that's what drove us at iFOREST to launch Smog Tales. We launched the information campaign last year and spotlighted six rapidly growing cities in North India. We examined air quality in Patna, Guwahati, Baddi, Chandigarh, and Meerut through webinars, discussions with experts, putting out our analysis, and engaging with local media. In season two of the campaign, we are taking this solution driven dialogue to Maharashtra's emerging urban centers into the cities of Thane, Amravati, Nagpur, Aurangabad, and Bhiwandi. Today's conversation is about the dipping air quality of Thane. I'm Shweta, and on behalf of Air Forest, I welcome our esteemed panelists and all participants to today's webinar. We are honored to have with us Sree Kumar, Sree Kumar, Program Director, Clean Air Action, WRI, Srimati. Yes, we have the camera. Srimati Manisha Pradhan, Chief Environment Officer, Thane Municipal Corporation, Shri Aniruddh Varale, Thane Field Officer, Maharashtra Pollution Control Board, and Dr. Chinuu, founder of Kushiyaan Foundation. Now I would like to request my colleague, Dr. Pratima, Director Air Pollution, to present her findings about Thane. She will then go on to moderating the discussion with our expert panel, after which we will open the door for questions. So please feel free to drop your questions in the chat box. Over to Pratima.
Thank you, Shweta. I welcome again all the esteemed panelists. Happy to see you here. This is basically an awareness program that we are doing for not for big cities but for smaller cities. We most of the time, our focus is on Delhi when the winter season starts, and we talk only about Delhi's air pollution. But we believe that smaller cities are equally polluted, and hence our focus needs to be on the smaller cities as well, and talk about it and create awareness. And hence this webinar focusing on the smaller cities. Allow me to share my screen quickly. So today the focus of Smog Tales is on Thane city, which is one of the non-attainment cities in Maharashtra among the 19 non-attainment cities. And today we will try to understand what are the people of Thane breathing. Okay. So to give you a glimpse of what Thane pollution looks like, these are a few of the pictures that we had captured, and we have taken some from internet as well. So there's a lot of burning and road dust, which we can clearly see. The air quality index level is around 156 currently, which is around 1.101 times higher compared to Maharashtra. So we can understand that not only big cities are polluted, but the smaller cities are equally or even more polluted. So looking at the data here, yes. So looking at the Thane city, you can clearly see the blue dots are the manual stations, and the red dots are the continuous air quality monitoring station. Now, these stations are mostly focused in the central or the northern part of the city. However, on the lower part of Thane, there are no stations available. Okay, the area of the city is around 52.52 square kilometer, and population is around 24 lakhs. Now, according to the CPCB standards, we need to have more stations. Currently, there are 2 continuous air quality monitoring stations and 3 manual stations. However, we need 5 CAMS stations and 3 manual, which is there. So there's a deficit of 3 monitors for Thane. Now, I just want to bring to your notice the approach that we had focused for analyzing the data and collecting the data. So we have only used the continuous air quality monitoring station data, which are the two, Upvan and Kasaradavalli. The data was recorded like for 15 minutes interval. So we have collected the data that is available with the Pollution Control Board. We looked at 3 years data, 2023, 24, and 25. If the data was less than 60%, we have not considered the data, and we have used codes like Python and various other platforms like Tableau, Power BI, and QGIS to analyze and present the data for these slides. So, looking at the two continuous air quality monitoring stations, Kasaradavalli and Upvan Fort, these are the PM 2.5 and PM10 values. And as you can see clearly that, Kasaradavalli is higher in terms of PM 2.5 and PM10 values. Both PM10 and PM 2.5 are higher for this location. Now we need to do some ground truthing to understand what is happening around this station, to identify what are the polluting activities. So PM10 is around 1.23 times higher than the UP14 data, and PM 2.5 is around 1.09 times higher than the UP14. So this does not give us a very good understanding on what is happening in Thane, because half of the city is not covered with CAM station. Only based on the two station data, it becomes very difficult. One station is higher compared to other, probably because there's a lot of green area. That could also be the reason. So this needs to be cross-checked by ground truthing. If we look at the annual average of 2024 for Kasaradavalli station, PM10 is definitely higher compared to the CPCB standards by a factor of 1.6. And PM 2.5 is almost within the standards, but it is a bit high. I won't say that it is challenging, but PM10 is definitely a challenge. We also looked at the seasonal variation for the station, and clearly winter season is higher compared to monsoon and summer season. For Upvan Fort, PM10 again is higher compared to the CPCB standards. PM 2.5 is within the standards. Even the SOx NOx are within the standards. So that is one of the good things. Same for the Kasaradavalli, PM SOx and NOx were within the standards. Here also winter season is quite high compared to the summer and the monsoon season. Now, we looked at the winter season comparison for November and December, and I want to highlight the fact that why did we look at only November and December? Because the data was not available for other years. Now, the data was only available for 2023 for 6 months, 2024 was available, and 2025 6 months data was available. So we could not do a trend analysis for other season. And hence only 2 years, 2023 versus 2024 is here presented. We can clearly see that for Kasaradavalli station, PM 2.5 and PM 10 has increased compared to 2023. There's an increase in the values of PM 2.5 and 10 by 11% PM 2. Now for Upvan Fort, there is some relief that there is decrease in the PM 10 values. However, for PM 2.5, there is increase. Now we don't know what's the reason for the increase and the decrease for both the stations. So this again needs to be further studied clearly. We also looked at the monthly average trends, and it's very clear that during the winter season there's increase in the PM 2.5 and PM 10 values for both the stations, Upvan Fort and Kasaradavalli. Now winter seasons are really high here in Thane, so it brings to our attention that what is happening in Thane, that the values go so high. in the season. We know that, the mixing height comes down, the dispersion is low. That is the trend for most of the seasons. But Thane is still growing. There, there's a lot of urbanization that has happened. Most of the population is moving towards Thane. So what are the factors this needs to be understand? We need to understand this. We also looked at the hourly trends, and clearly we saw that the peak is usually around in the morning time between 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. Usually the peaks are between 7 to 10, but here we have observed that the peak is from 9 a.m. to 12 a.m. for winter season. And same for PM 2.5, the peak is observed during the same time. Now, the evening peak is not very clear, it's not clearly coming out. However, during the late evening hours, we can see some peak for PM 2.5. So yeah, these are the aspects. And we also looked at the SMART framework, which mentions specific, measurable, achievable, reliable, and timeline wise, how the cleaner action plans are prepared. Now, if we look at all the control measures that are mentioned in the cleaner action plan for the city, most of the control measures are focused towards transportation sector. So this I feel is one of the aspects that our focus is completely on the transportation, then towards dust industries. And if I look at, there's some good control measures towards waste burning, CND dust. However, almost 25% control measures are towards transportation sector. So we will have to understand what the specific sources of pollution in the city are, and then design the action plan accordingly. If we looked at the matrix, how the action plans are adhering to the SMART framework, only 3%, less than 3% met the SMART framework. Partially, around around the three of them met the SMART framework, and around sorry, uh, less than three control measures, they were not adhering. Very less, if you see this green bar, they are adhering to the SMART framework. So most of our control measures are really weak. We do not know whether they are achievable, the timeline is clearly prepared, whether we are able to measure the impact of the pollution reduction will happen or not. So these are few of the challenges that are existing in the current cleaner action strategies in the cleaner plan. So if we look at, if I just summarize things, then data is definitely one of the biggest challenge. In 2019, the National Clean Air Program was floated, and Thane was identified as one of the non-attainment cities. However, from 2018, there is no data available for Thane city. Only from 2023, there is some data available. So clearly, we cannot understand what was happening in the city earlier and what are the changes or how much reduction is happened. Compared to 2023, 2024, clearly there is an increase in the pollution levels. PM10 and PM2.5 concentrations are definitely above the standards. There is no significant data to compare the annual averages, but the winter trend that we compared for 2023 and 2024, there's definitely increase in the PM10 and PM2.5 levels that we have seen. According to the SMART framework, the cleaner action plan is really weak for the Thane city, which needs to be, scientifically developed, and it needs to be measurable and timeline bound so that it can be implemented properly on ground. So fewer than 3% satisfy all the SMART framework criteria. So it's definitely a weak framework. So this is in short a glance of what is happening in Thane. Now I'm gonna stop sharing and I will now move to my panel people. May I request all the panelists to please switch on their camera? Great. Again, welcome everyone. So I'll start with Mr. Sree Aniruddh ji, who is from Maharashtra Pollution Control Board. He represents the organization. Sir, if you could unmute yourself, and my very first question that I would want to ask you that data is definitely a challenge for Thane city, and as we saw that there is no data available from 2018 to 2023. So, what are the steps that the Pollution Control Board is taking to ensure that there is consistent and good quality data that is available, which gives an indication of how polluted the city is and also towards the awareness creation?
Uh, Madam, as you mentioned that there are only two continuous monitoring stations, it's correct. However, we are going to provide three more stations new to monitor the air data.
Right.
That is the new thing we are going to do.
Okay. And how do we ensure that the data that we are receiving is of good quality and consistent? Because most of the time, what we saw in the last 3 years, only 6 months data was available, and the rest of the data was not. So how do we ensure that the quality of the data is good?
Actually, right now I don't have the actual reason for that, but definitely I will share it with you.
Okay, sir. Okay, I also want to understand that, what are the biggest challenges that the Pollution Control Board is facing in terms of monitoring the city? Because we clearly saw, the lower part of Thane, there are no stations. So how do we, when we prepare these cleaner action strategies, how do you identify what type of measure should be in the plan?
Pardon?
I'll repeat my question. So I'm
Yeah,
saying that in the southern part, the lower part of Thane, there are no monitoring stations. You mentioned that
correct.
their stations are going to come up. But
Correct.
when we prepare our action plans, there is no indication of what is happening in that lower part of Thane in terms of pollution level.
Yeah.
So how do we make our, strategies, the clean air strategies, more robust?
The actual data we will get after installation of new, but for time being, we can put our uh, air quality monitoring vehicles, which board has. So we can locate it and at least we can get some data from there.
ओके अनिरुद्ध सर मैं आपसे जानना चाहूंगी एमिशन इन्वेंटरी एंड सोर्स अपॉर्शनमेंट स्टडीज थाने के लिए हो गई हैं?
No, actually, I don't know, ma'am, because I am new to this office.
Okay, fine, no worries. I'll get back to you with next set of questions. And now I'll go to Dr. Sree Kumar from WRI. Dr. Sree, I want to understand from you that, what are the biggest unanswered questions when it comes to smaller cities? Our focus is always on the bigger cities, and we seldom look at these small cities. So how do we first, fill these data gaps that we have, and how do we ensure that the strategies that are prepared become more clear, more achievable, more implementable?
Thanks, Pratima. I think it's an interesting discussion because you pitched the whole discussion as a why we are not doing enough discussion around smaller cities and the challenges around that. So this is, I mean, with reference to the few other cities also you mentioned in Maharashtra, but Thane is slightly different because Thane is under the shadow of Mumbai and the Mumbai region. right? So this whole pollution scenario in Thane is not separatable from Mumbai's pollution. So there is a whole, we always need to see that with that lens, that how Mumbai region, the challenges of Mumbai region and so on. Because I just want to give some perspective about that. The state government is really considering Mumbai region as a major, a center for infrastructural investment and as economic growth hub, right? So the till 2047, we are expected to achieve several times of enhanced GDP and the related economic activities. That means whole lot of um, both both things like human related activities, like maybe it is transport or industries or related. So we are going to see enormous amount of activities coming up in the near future. And it is not specifically Thane. Of course, Thane is taking a lot of the growth. Thane district especially, it is playing a very important role. For instance, there's a new port which is coming up in the north. There is a whole lot of a ring road which is going to connect the entire region. There is a number of 76 kilometer of underground tunnels and metro extensions. All of these are
Right.
happening. So now, considering all of this, as Thane is part of the Mumbai growth hub, in this scenario, how do we see this growth cannot happen without environmental management, right? So then, if we, what are those ambitious steps Thane need to take in terms of keeping its preserving its air and its overall environment? I think that would be the larger question. For instance, the question of you were constantly asking this question of why this Kasarvadoli is showing higher PM 2.5 and higher in. So that is a very clear thing, right? It is part of the highway which is connecting to Gujarat. And you will understand that Mumbai port handles 65 percentage of the national containered traffic, right?
Mhm.
Nationally, it has such an important role. Mumbai,
Correct.
JNPT, and the whole region handles such a huge amount of freight transport, and a lot of that northward movement happens through this area, and it is likely to have a big impact. So,
Right.
and that means one is that what we are seeing is only a very small part of still what is yet to come. That means we need to take huge amount of exercise in reducing vehicular emissions and also other emissions in Thane and also in the region. So this unanswered question you asked is that what is the role of Thane and how it is contributing in the region, how the other parts of the region like Mumbai is contributing to the air pollution in Thane, and this kind of who need to take more action, how to have a more coordinated action. What is the setup do we need to be able to achieve that? I think these are some of the major questions. How do we really bring the attention to a level of that? For instance, you spoke also about data of the understanding. So the smaller cities usually have this problem of activity data, right? We all agree. So how do we, if we want to really understand the airshed of Mumbai, the Mumbai region as one, then what are the activity data we are missing? Which how we need to make it homogeneous data, and we need to really understand in detail of all the things happening in the district and in the city region, so to be able to really come to a more informed advice on what can be done. So I think that is in overall, I would say this is a main thing, and this also has, if while this is underlying lot of problems, but it also has solutions. because this thinking it as a region has a lot of solutions as well, because lot of understanding can come from Mumbai, can come from other parts of other Navi Mumbai and other cities. So how do we pool the capacities? How do we pool the understanding? How do we learn from each other, share resources? For instance, how can we have shared recycling plants for specific targeted area activities and so on? So we can think of many things if we bring this kind of a coordinated kind of action, and so many things
Right.
can achieve. Yeah, I'll stop with that.
Definitely, yeah. Dr. Shree, you brought one of the very interesting facts that we need to also look at the solutions part. And that's very true. When I was in Thane, I was doing field visit and I saw that Thane is relatively clean compared to Mumbai. And that was really surprising. However, when it comes to waste management part, most of the Mumbai's waste is going towards Mulund or Thane for, recycling and treatment and everything. And definitely the highway thing that you mentioned, it is one of the major thing. And many of the citizens from Mumbai, because Mumbai is saturated right now and they're moving towards Thane, and a lot of urbanization is happening, a lot of construction activities is happening. So that is another, I believe, major issue for dust resuspension also. But yes, we definitely look at the solution, and it could be, more impactful than talking about the challenges. But we also need to understand. I'll come back to you with the next set of questions. Let me go to Manisha Pradhan, ma'am, from Thane Municipal Corporation. Ma'am, can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Yes.
Ma'am, I want to understand from you what is Thane Municipal Corporation currently focusing on in terms of identifying specific actions and implementing them for Thane. As Dr. Sree mentioned, there are these couple of challenges like transportation, highway goes through and the port activity is maximum and has the connectivity thing is impacting a lot. So, what are the measures that Thane Municipal Corporation is taking currently?
Now, actually, one correction is there. TNC area is not 52 square kilometer. It is 123 square kilometer is there.
Okay.
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 And Thane Municipal Corporation since 1996, we are implementing the MPCB, Maharashtra Pollution Control's National Quality Monitoring Program. And under that, 3 air quality monitoring station manual in working in Thane city.
Right.
There are 3 manual stations are working, and recently in 23 or 24 they have deployed 2 continuous air quality monitoring stations.
Right.
Actually, we every year prepare the environment status report, which is mandatory to ULB, and it is available on our TMC website.
Okay.
So since last 1996, you will get the data of air quality. Though it
Okay.
is manual, but you will get the data of air quality. And at presently, there are 3 manual stations which measures the air quality, which represents the area residential, commercial, and mixed use.
Okay.
Presently, there are no industries in Thane city.
Interesting.
Industries are majority are converted into residential, and industries are there which are basically engineering industries.
Okay.
And with this clean air action plan, we have prepared as per the MPCB guideline, which is get certified by Central Pollution Control Board. So I am not agree with you that it is very weak scientifically developed. It is not like that. Here in the clean air action plan, they have made the urban agglomeration, Mumbai, Nashik, Pune, and under Mumbai, they have given the 7 ULBs:
Okay.
Thane, Bhiwandi, Navi Mumbai, Ambernath, Ulhasnagar, and Badlapur.
Okay.
So that forms a one urban agglomeration.
Okay.
So what the sir is saying that it's a part of Mumbai region now.
Okay.
So okay, and they have given the by seeing the urban nature, they have given the maximum focus 80% of grant on e-buses.
Mm.
Out of the 80% amount, we have to expend on 80%
Okay.
amount for e-buses. And
Mm-hmm.
then 20% amount for laboratory strengthening, plantation, and upgradation of crematorium from wood to gas.
Okay.
Three, four options and C&D waste management.
Okay.
As all these cities are urbanizing, lots of construction work is going on, which
Right.
is needed for the public utility. Roads are there, drainage connections are there, metros are there, flyovers are there, drinking water lines are there, MTNL, gas line, everything is there. So that's why this utility is going on, and majority times it constructs the dust. So
Right.
if you see the Thane city, majority of air pollution is because of construction and vehicle.
Okay. Ma'am, I want to understand one thing. You
29
mentioned
lakh.
that.
One. Yes, madam.
Yeah, you were saying something. Sorry.
Presently in TMC area, total population is around 29 lakh, and vehicle population is 15 to 16 lakh.
Okay.
So
Okay.
much vehicle population is there. So major air pollution is because of this construction activity
Mm.
and vehicular pollution.
Okay.
So TMC at present purchased the 123 e-buses
Okay.
which are flying on the road. We are made all full AC. So lots of public response is there.
Mm.
Also fee, ticket reduction, cost is also there.
Mm-hmm.
One more 160 buses, our tender is finalized and very short work order will be given. From
Okay.
this grant, it is mandatory to purchase us 303 e-buses.
Okay.
So last 20 buses, we are waiting for the double-decker buses.
Okay.
E-buses, double-decker like BMC.
Mm-hmm.
Also, we have converted around 13 crematorium on gas
Okay.
basis. Then we are we have installed 25 low-cost air pollution sensor, which is
Interesting.
mandatory as per the High Court order. So
Mm-hmm.
we have selected the hotspot. We have put them at the marketplaces, shows, some at our TMC offices. Also, as per High Court order, it is mandatory to put the low-cost sensor to developer.
Mm.
We have compelled them to put the tin height up to 25 feet. Misting machine should be there. Low-cost installation should be there. Air pollution. And we are not stopped at that level. We have made a dashboard. So all these data of 149 developers and our 25 low-cost sensors, then continuous ambient air quality monitoring, they get flickered on this dashboard. So we are trying to control the air pollution in Thane city. Now we are taking the one conference for bakeries.
Mm-hmm.
Lots of bakeries are there. They are
Right.
using the wood for burning. Code direction is there. They have to convert on LPG or gas. So we are trying to make a meeting with MGL, then Food and Drug Administration, and bakery associations and TMC, and any technical agency. ASAR agency is there. They
Okay.
have got the technical expertise how
Mm-hmm.
to convert this wood based bakery into LPG or electric furnace. So
Okay.
that initiative also taken. Then we have got the actually as per the CPCB action plan. It is very mandatory to form the city level coordination committee.
Mm-hmm.
And their minutes, there is a special Prana portal is there, which
Mm-hmm.
is every monthly it is viewed by the CPCB experts and additional secretary, everyone. We have to update all these reports on that portal. Like this, we are trying. to
Right.
control the air pollution.
Right. Now, thank you so much, ma'am, for your candid responses and such initiatives taken by TMC. I have one follow-up question. You said that 80% of your budget is going towards EV buses and 20% for other activities like, lab plantation, crematorium to changes to gas and all those things. So how did you, identify that 80% should go toward transportation and 20% to other
Oh,
actions?
that is a guideline for Maharashtra. Our
Okay,
Principal Secretary, Environment and Forest Department, they
right.
have viewed all these urban areas in Nema region, and
Okay,
they have decided that like a village area where burning of food waste is there, rice husk is there, that are not problem here. Here,
okay.
air pollution major problem is vehicles.
Mm-hmm.
Lots of vehicles are there. So they
Correct.
have decided that if you make the public transport very strong,
Mm-hmm.
that's why they decided all our Kalyan Dombivli, Bhiwandi, Navi Mumbai, Pune, everyone has to follow that guideline and
Right.
they have to put their 80% for EV buses.
Okay.
Now there is some changes they are taking afterwards because
Hmm.
Pune already have the so many buses.
Correct.
So some corrections they are doing. But initially it was a guideline
Okay.
that you
Got
have to make invest 80% in EV buses only.
right. Got it, ma'am. I'll come back to you for the next set of questions. I'll go to now Dr. Chinu, who is one of the social media influencer and who is working very closely with citizen groups. Dr. Chinu, I want to understand that how aware are the citizens of Thane when it comes to air pollution? Do they understand how deadly air pollution is, how it is going to impact their health? What is your understanding from the ground?
So firstly, thank you so much. It's an honor to be here today. Being a Thaneite since last 35 years, I've been known in Bombay more, less in Thane for the work which we have been doing with oceans waste management. And before starting anything, I would like to appreciate the Thane Municipal Corporation because since I've been seeing Thane since last 35 years now. Rightly said by Manisha, ma'am, that the number of vehicles are multiplying every day. So I was
Okay.
just a small example. I was born in Srinagar, Varale state, and at that time we used to play on the roads. Now we can't even walk on the roads because there are so many vehicles which are parked right, left, center. Secondly, if you see Kasaragod, according to me, where I am working on ground, a lot of development is coming up.
Okay.
Construction is coming up, and urban development is there. And I feel any development comes with a cost, and the
Right.
cost is not only borne by the citizens but also borne by the municipal corporation because जो सांस citizens ले रहे हैं वही शायद municipal corporation वाले भी ले रहे हैं. There is no
Definitely.
different air for anyone else.
Yes.
Having said that, uh, Thane Municipal Corporation is doing a wonderful job. That's the reason Mumbai people are shifting into Thane because we have bigger space, we have green areas, we have lakes, we have water, we have everything to feed the livelihoods.
Right.
Moreover, in today, and I suppose this year statistics, I feel not. I don't know the number, but अंदाजे से last year के मुकाबले this year the burning of crackers were also less in Thane because
Okay.
of promoting more of green crackers. Secondly, every 5 kilometers we saw Visurgent ponds
Okay.
in Thane, so less of bappas going into the creek. And Mumbai being a blessed city to have a coastal region because हमारा जो 50% का जो pollution है वो तो बेचारा coastal ले लेता है and it gives back the oxygen and that's the reason Mumbai is somehow blessed. Otherwise we would have been in the same situation of Delhi right now.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I've seen Thane very closely as a citizen also, and then being a Thaneite, going to the beaches and converting into whatever kind of work which we are doing right now, a lot of efforts have been seen by municipal corporation. One.
Mm-hmm.
Um, One more small example in Thane itself, I wanted to start up a recycling center and a MRF center where Manisha ma'am was a biggest support. And through Khushbu ma'am, I understood Dr. Khushbu, I understood about Manisha ma'am. So these units, these departments are very helpful if you go and talk to them.
Mm-hmm.
What only one thing which I'm seeing less in Thane and the outer of Thane, that is Bhiwandi, Ulhasnagar, Kalyan, Dombivli, and actually it is whole of India. We are less in MRF systems. We are very less in the recycling systems. Less in terms of the number of units are less, and also we are not in an organized sector right now,
Okay. Okay.
and which leads to burning of plastic. And
Mm-hmm.
when ऑफ थाने इन थाने जो कचरा डंप हो रहा है वो कचरे को जलाया जा रहा है. सो कहीं ना कहीं वो अननोइंगली वो जलाया जा रहा है. इट इज नॉट दैट म्युनिसिपैलिटी उठा नहीं रही. इट इज दैट वी डोंट वांट कचरा आउटसाइड आवर हाउस. दैट्स द रीजन वी आर बर्निंग इट. ठीक है. So this is my ground report and the ground awareness. So people have sensitized themselves. People are
Okay.
aware, but also people need to come out and be on ground and support the initiatives which have been taken by the government. I've been
Right.
also called by Mira Bhayandar Corporation to have a tie-up with them to start up an MRF. I want to lead a bigger MRF in Thane where the creek plastic can be converted into school benches and the other essentials for the school, so that we are not directing the creek plastic to the landfills, and the landfills will give out methane, and the methane goes into the air. So this is how we are trying to work, and where I hope very soon with Thane Municipal Corporation will have a tie-up or something where we can scale up our work in a bigger way.
Okay, great. Great, Dr. Chino, this is really interesting that you being on ground, and it clearly shows that people are aware. However, just to get rid of the waste in their surrounding, they are burning it. But clearly, awareness needs to be there in terms of how toxic the air becomes when they are burning plastic or other waste, and probably more initiative towards this should be carried out. Okay, I'll get back to you with the final question. Moving to Sri Aniruddh ji, I want to understand from you what are the ground level challenges Maharashtra Pollution Control Board faces in terms of regulation and compliance implementation. If you can unmute yourself, sir. जैसे मनीषा मैडम ने बताया कि इंडस्ट्रीज बहुत कम है, सिर्फ इंजीनियरिंग इंडस्ट्रीज है, सो
हाँ
लार्ज स्केल इंडस्ट्रीज नहीं।
बेसिकली मैडम अभी पहले यहाँ पे जो इंडस्ट्रीज थे, केमिकल इंडस्ट्रीज वगैरह जो थे, वो अभी पूरे वहाँ वहाँ पे बंद हो गए, और
राइट।
उसके जगह आईटी इंडस्ट्रीज आए. तो पोल्यूशन जो एयर पोल्यूशन वगैरह जो होता था वो अभी वैसे देखा गया तो वो कम ही हो गया है. अभी
ओके।
यहाँ पे सिर्फ इंजीनियरिंग यूनिट्स है,
ओके।
और जो R&D एक्टिविटीज करते हैं वैसे यूनिट है. और यहाँ का पोल्यूशन का जो आप बोल रहे हैं, तो बेसिकली ये जनरेशन जो ट्रांसपोर्ट के वजह से है. यहाँ पे जो नए नए कंस्ट्रक्शन अभी आ रहे हैं, इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर जो आ रहे हैं, उसका कंस्ट्रक्शन की वजह से भी यहाँ पे पोल्यूशन के इश्यूज है.
ओके, सो सर
हाँ.
कंप्लायंस और
तो
रेगुलेशन अगर देखा जाए तो उसके एस्पेक्ट में क्या चैलेंजेस फेस कर रहा है एमपीसीबी?
नहीं, कंप्लायंस के हिसाब से अभी हमने जो इनको डायरेक्टिव्स दिया है, जो लोकल बॉडी जो कंसर्न है इसके बारे में, तो उनको हमने जो हमारा गाइडलाइंस फॉलो करने के लिए हम टाइम टू टाइम डायरेक्शंस देते हैं, और वो कई हद तक वो उसको इम्प्लीमेंट भी करते हैं.
ओके।
जैसे कि हमने उनको बताया था कि आप जो कंस्ट्रक्शन एक्टिविटीज वगैरह जो होते हैं, वहाँ पे फॉगर्स, स्प्रिंकलर्स, ग्रीन नेट, ये सब बिठाने के लिए आप उनको इंसिस्ट कीजिए. और बाद में जो 20,000 स्क्वायर मीटर के ऊपर जो कंस्ट्रक्शन है, ऐसे साइट को वहाँ पे ऑनलाइन जो मॉनिटरिंग सिस्टम है विथ डिस्प्ले, वो उनको ये करने बोला है। और हाल ही में अभी उनको ये भी बताया गया है कि जो छोटे छोटे भी जो कंस्ट्रक्शन बिल्डिंग है, अभी सिर्फ बड़े नहीं हो रहे हैं, जो छोटे छोटे भी रीडेवलपमेंट वाले जो है, तो उसमें से भी जो जब डिमोलिशन वगैरह होता है उस टाइम पे पोल्यूशन होता है, तो ऐसे भी लोगों को कंस्ट्रक्शन एक्टिविटी जहाँ होती है वहाँ पे वहाँ पे भी डिस्प्ले वहाँ पे भी बिठाने के लिए हमने बताया है।
ओह, इंटरेस्टिंग।
हम्म। तो ऐसा नहीं है कि टीएमसी कुछ नहीं कर रही है या इम्प्लीमेंटेशन में थोड़ा सा पीछे हो रहा है,
हम्म।
लेकिन ये कैसा है कि थोड़ा सा टाइम कंसर्न है।
हम्म।
अभी जब ये इम्प्लीमेंटेशन चालू होगा तब वो सब ये छोटे मोटे ये सब हम लोग मॉनिटर कर पाएंगे। ऐसा नहीं है कि मॉनिटर है वो सब एक ही जगह सब डेटा हमको मिलेगा।
ओके।
तो जो नए कंस्ट्रक्शन भी हो रहे हैं तो उसका डेटा अपने को पास रहेगा कि वेदर दिस यूनिट इज रिस्पॉन्सिबल टू क्रिएट पोल्यूशन। तो
ओके।
ऐसे लोगों पे हम लोग एक्शन लेने के लिए भी वी आर फ्री, एंड टीएमसी ऑल्सो फ्री फ्रॉम देयर एंड।
हम्म।
तो हम लोग वहीं पे उसको काउंटर अटैक कर सकते हैं और उसका रीजन ये कर सकते हैं। जैसे कि आरएमसी
इंटरेस्टिंग।
प्लांट है, आरएमसी प्लांट को भी अभी हमने एंटायर नए नए जो गाइडलाइंस आए टाइप करने के लिए बोला है
ओके।
कि अगर बॉक्साइड में रहेगा तो बाहर इमिशंस होना बहुत चांसेस कम रहेंगे।
राइट।
हाँ, तो जो उनके साइलोज हैं, जो मिक्सिंग यूनिट है, ऐसे
हम्म।
सब हमने उनको स्ट्रक्चर को बॉक्स टाइप में ये करने के लिए एनक्लोज करने के लिए बताया है। और
राइट।
बाकी का ये तो मैंडेटरी है ही, उनको स्प्रिंकलर लगाना है।
हम्म।
और जो आपका एंट्री एग्जिट पॉइंट रहता है उनका, जहाँ से व्हीकल इन आउट होता है, वहाँ
हम्म।
पे हमने उनको एटोमाइज टायर वॉशिंग का ये कंपलसरी किया है।
ओके।
तो ऐसे यूनिट भी हम लोग आइडेंटिफाई करने वाले हैं कि जिन्होंने अभी ये कंप्लायंस नहीं करेंगे तो नेचुरली उनके ऊपर एक्शन होगा, एंड वी विल हैव टू क्लोज दिस यूनिट।
ओके।
अगर आप नहीं करते हो तो आपके ऊपर एक्शन हो जाएगा।
सो ये स्ट्रिक्ट
जब तक आप
गाइडलाइंस आपके नॉर्म्स में ऑलरेडी है सर?
नॉर्म्स ऑलरेडी है और उसको इम्प्लीमेंट करने के लिए अभी हमारे यहाँ से सब सर्वे वगैरह वो चीजें हम लोग करने वाले हैं ज्वाइंटली। टीएमसी भी उनके लेवल पे करेगा, हम भी हमारे लेवल पे इसको टैकल करने का अभी हमने डिसाइड किया है।
वंडरफुल। वंडरफुल।
रैंडमली तो होता है मैडम, ऐसा
हम्म।
नहीं है। रैंडमली होता है, लेकिन कैसा उतना मैन पावर चाहिए। अभी समझो 400-500 यूनिट को विजिट करना है तो इट्स नॉट पॉसिबल कि रातों रात ये सब सिनेरियो चेंज हो गया।
राइट।
लेकिन कैसा है कि अगर हम लोग मंथली 10 यूनिट भी जाके कवर करते हैं प्रॉपरली, तो उसको इम्प्लीमेंट करने बोलते हैं ये सब चीजें, तो नेचुरली उसमें 100% उसका आउटपुट हमने को मिलने वाला है।
राइट।
तो वो भी हम लोग मॉनिटरिंग वाइज भी हम लोग उसके ऊपर थोड़ा स्ट्रिक्ट मॉनिटरिंग करने वाले हैं। और
हम्म।
जो भी इसमें कल्प्रिट रहेगा उसके ऊपर एक्शन तो जरूर होगा।
ओके।
और इट विल डेफिनेटली हेल्प टू रिड्यूस द पोल्यूशन।
राइट। राइट। No, no, this is
हाँ,
really
जो कंट्रोल
interesting and good
कंट्रोल
initiatives that.
हाँ, कंट्रोल जो कंट्रोल मेजर्स है उसको प्रॉपर उन्होंने चलाने की कोशिश की,
हम्म।
तो भी हम लोगों को बहुत सारा उसमें फायदा होने वाला है। ऐसा नहीं कि वो मेजर्स बिठाते नहीं है, लेकिन क्या है कि इंडस्ट्री और उनका थोड़ा सा माइंडसेट आप तो जानते हैं, जहाँ खर्चा होता है वहाँ थोड़ा सा ये करते हैं।
राइट।
तो हम लोग वो एंगल में हम उसको उनके ऊपर थोड़ा सा स्ट्रिक्ट ये करने वाले। और जो रैंडमाइज हम लोग विजिट करेंगे तो उसमें जो भी होगा तो मैसेज तो जाएगा सबके पास कि
करेक्ट।
हम लोगों को अभी सुधारना चाहिए।
हम्म। राइट। Okay,
Yes.
okay. Thank you, Aniruddh ji. I'll come back to you with the final thing. Moving to Dr.
Mhm.
Sree. Dr. Sree, we understand, Thane is growing, it's urbanizing, and hence we need to understand what could be implementable and scalable options that Mumbai has already done, which can be, considered by Thane. But also understanding the one of the major challenge that construction activities are rampant, it's increasing, and WRI has come up with a lot of guidelines on construction and demolition dust. So, what do you think could be new initiatives that the city can focus on?
Yeah, I think that's a very, very pertinent question. I was very happy to hear Mr. Aniruddha Varale, who mentioned a lot of things which about MPCB is doing, and also the challenges, right? The challenges in how it is difficult to really monitor and on the ground, right? And enforce on the ground. So I think this is where probably we can bring in more the science-based approach
Mhm.
of understanding, where is the problem, right? You have very limited number of officers who can go and on the ground and do audit. That
Correct.
means we will have to use the data upfront in to really understand where are the problematic areas, which
Hmm.
are the projects which are actually having a much higher emissions than the surroundings, and therefore having this kind of analytics in real time of the pollution coming from a construction site versus the CAQMS data and other census data to really understand which are the hotspots, construction emission hotspots in the city, and
Right.
therefore then you take identify smaller cluster of area, the hotspot area within that, which are the projects are going on, and within those projects, how do we, which are the projects are likely that are emitting more. So this kind of analysis the officers should be able to do in a real time. How
Hmm.
to enable this kind of a capacity within the municipal corporation and also supported by MPCB, that would be really important. Basically what we are talking about is a very science based uh, auditing framework, right?
Right.
So you know where to audit and what to audit in advance before even going to the site. So compliance can be
Yeah.
much more nuanced and much more evidence based, that the builder will have to agree, right? The
Hmm.
builder is when we say that a builder has already taken an action or not action, and
Hmm.
how it is reflecting in the data, that will help to have a kind of a discussion, or the compared with the surrounding building constructions, what is the how they are benchmarked and so on. So this kind of framework is required, and definitely this will help in doing that. And very happy to see that they have already come up with this dashboard and all that. I think that should be the way next going
Yep.
on. And then there's a
Definitely.
learning from Mumbai, and in overall, I think the another thing is Mumbai is undergoing a very interesting transition of bakeries, as an example, right? I mean, already 60% of the bakeries
Yep.
in Mumbai are already in the process of transition, or already have taken forward the transition, or taken some gas pipe connection or any of this, right? So
Yes.
so this is the very, very interesting. How many times have we seen really a big transition like this happening?
Yeah.
This we have we have been working with BMC since more than 2 years, so we know that how this is gone ahead, and it's a lot of concentrated work and going through this kind of a very, very open and stakeholder oriented approach, going and really identifying the problems of the bakeries and how they each and every case can go through the transition, what are the finances possible, and so on. So this kind of, there is a good learning there. I think already MPCB has taken a lot of efforts in this as well, and some form of financial support also will really help. So it's also up to TMC and MPCB to consider how this transition can be accelerated. And there's several things. And also, Manisha madam also spoke about this whole thing of buses. And now this, how the buses are really coming up, and the metro is also coming up. So now we will let really rationalize the route rationalize, right? So to say
Correct.
metro and buses should not be competing with each other. That
Yeah.
means we let really rationalize the buses, and how this whole thing of last mile connectivity point of view, how we can think of how the entire Thane may, how to imagine that within 5 minutes of walking distance you can reach a metro or bus stop or
Yeah.
and a bus service. It's
Bus
not even a
service.
stop, we are talking about a bus service within a very so this needs both a technical exercise of planning as well as infrastructure and as well as lot of communication and making people awareness and so on. So there's a combination of many things need to be done. And of course, the major vehicular pollution is also coming from the heavy vehicles of which is
Yes,
trucks and other things. So
exactly.
we let really think about rationalize their movement within the city. Of course, the ring road is coming up. That time, hopefully, we will reduce much of the problem. But still, there will be a major need for how the infrastructure need to be put in place so that the trucks don't need to come inside the city. And the last mile
Correct.
is predominantly EV-oriented vehicles and so on. So there is
Correct.
a EV infrastructure. That means we are need to talk about EV infrastructure. How are we going to financially support? So much of work need to be done. And but I think it's quite interesting and encouraging to hear that many things are happening. So I will stop with that. Many more to say, but I'll stop with that. Yeah.
I completely agree with you that there's a lot of initiative on the ground happening, and with MPCB leading in terms of understanding what the ground challenges are and investing towards identifying, the solutions for that. And bakery is the best example. Within 6 months, they have transitioned so much. But coming to Thane, as you rightly said, that the highway is passing through the city itself, and how do we eliminate the pollution from freight transport is going to be a major challenge going forward, even though 80% of the control measures are targeted towards public transportation. So but then freight is something that we'll have to look at. So yeah, thank you so much, and I'll come back to you for final comments. Over to you, Manisha ma'am. Can you hear me, ma'am? Manisha ma'am, are you there? Yes. Yeah, so I want
Yes,
to
ma'am.
understand from you that TMC is definitely doing a lot of work, and a lot of implementation is ongoing currently, and adhering to the National Clean Air Program, all the activities are aligned. I want to understand one simple basic aspect, that how do you coordinate with other departments? Is it a challenge for you to work with other departments also for the implementation work? And considering that it's an urban agglomeration, other cities are also around, and Thane is very much part of the Mumbai also because it's just attached. So how do the governance of air pollution, how does it work, and how does TMC tackle that?
Actually, city level air pollution monitoring committee is there,
Mm-hmm.
which has each as per the norms. It has the member from RTO,
Okay.
then police
Mm-hmm.
department, from collector, from college,
Okay.
and from industry,
Okay.
and our TMC's department.
Okay.
So it will give the overall measures. So we were able to convey them what
Mm-hmm.
are the various meetings, various directives are there from MPCB or MMR region committee or TM or from Mumbai. So we can able because of this meeting,
Hmm.
which is happen in twice a month,
Okay.
and we would able to give them all the directives, and they also share with us all data.
Interesting.
So where is the congestion is there, how they are deployed the bit marshal,
Mm-hmm.
then how they have tried the penalty, at various check nakas are there. Anandnagar check naka is there. Dahisar check naka is there. How they are doing the PUC testing, how much vehicles they have seen, and how much penalty they have collected. So all
Right.
this data sharing is there. And
Mhm.
also we have got the being our air pollution environment department TMC. Inside we have got the one committee which
Oh,
is
wonderful.
formed under the direction under the chairmanship of municipal commission.
Mhm.
So what the project we have to take under the National Clean Air Program,
Mhm.
it is decided in that meeting.
Okay.
So where we have to do plantation, which crematorium we have to take on priority basis to convert it on gas,
Mhm.
where we have to put the misting machine at Chowk. So all these decisions taken by that committee. So
Okay.
it is become easier. They also become the part of the National Clean Air Program.
Right.
TMT manager is also become the part of our committee. So everyone understood the what are the guidelines which we have to follow, and then we are the under the chairmanship of commissioner. All projects, their location, their budgeting get sanctioned, and we distribute the grant which we are available to our department. And
Right.
like with this coordination, the work goes in PMC area. So
Very
basically,
interesting.
two committees are there inside and outside. So
Okay.
it helps to complete all the works.
Right, right. Thank you for that update, ma'am. We know that under National Clean Air Program, these committees do exist, but in very few cities, these committees are functional. And good to know that, in Thane, it's actually, meeting twice a month and working in coordination. So that's a very positive aspect. Thank you. Um, Going to Dr. Chinuu, I want to understand that, definitely awareness needs to work along with the scientific aspects, along with the governance and the implementation, and what kind of activities needs to be carried out on ground so that Thane people, the citizens, are more aware of the as deadlier aspects of air pollution.
So yeah, with my 11 years of experience, I spoke this at United Nations Asia also in the first week of this month. Uh, uh, my strength is CSR, my strength is volunteers. And I've been able to mobilize 1 million citizens for the ocean cleanup, for door-to-door campaigns, for many such campaigns for the plastic waste management. Being a Thanekar and being a Thaneite, born and brought up here, I have a very close connection with Thane, and I
Mhm.
want to see Thane in a different state of where we are coming out of plastic. Why I am coming in plastic in the session of air pollution is when a plastic is there with the wet waste, it produce methane. सो हमारे जो कचरे के डब्बे के में लोग कचरा फेंक के जाते हैं, आधे से टाइम आपने देखा होगा कचरे का डब्बा भर जाता है और उसके बाहर कचरा गिरा होता है. I
Correct.
want to recycle those plastic.
Mhm.
I want to focus on those plastic. HD, PET, there are thousands of people are working out.
Mhm.
LDP, MLP, HM, PP, nobody wants to work on.
Mhm.
And that is something, innovation which we have already done,
Mhm.
where I would be needing TMC support to scale this up at a bigger level. Now,
Okay.
how it can be done? The waste pickers who are working with me, they will be working on the salary with me, and they will be picking up all the plastic which is thrown away at the dustbins. So they will be helping out the TMC workers.
Right.
Secondly, as I said that I run a dashboard on waste management. So
Mhm.
in case TMC needs help, like ma'am was saying that since 90s, we all the projects are there in a manual form. Those projects can be made up in a tech-based form so that it becomes easier for Pratima for the next year to take out the data
Right.
and the other organizations also.
Mhm.
Secondly, for Aniruddha sir, I have more volunteers on board, starting from management college to BCom college, BCom, and the other streams college also. So these volunteers, can they play a major role in awareing the industry of what are the norms? Honestly, sir, when I was also planning to start any recycling unit, I was not knowing about the norms. then we have to go to an agency. They will charge something else to us. A consultant will charge something else to us, and then it goes with the municipal body, and there we come to know that these are not the norms. The norms are different. So
Oh,
if the norms are so concrete with us, and we are, I've seen TMC getting awarded IFAT also. I was there as an influencer with IFAT. I want to understand how can volunteers with my volunteers can play a role with TMC. Can we do Nukkad Natak? Can we do more cleanups? Can we the plastic waste management, the things I spoke about with waste pickers? Can we do all these things? Because the problem with the Asian countries is common. We have same problems going on in all the Asian countries, and that's how we have to solve these problems one by one. And my forte is plastic waste management. My forte is voicing out in a very positive manner, not blaming anyone in the picture, but also blaming self. And that's how the campaigns can go hand in hand. And obviously, Sree Kumar sir can be a mentor on this projects and designing the projects, because he must be having more experience than me. But I really want to take a step towards Thane, where people come and people really want to come out, Pratima. I every now and then, yesterday I hosted 10 ITM interns from Thane. There are many people who want to work with us. We are launching an app for Thane where we are doing door-to-door collection, paying people on the spot. It is
right,
not कि आपके घर का जो भी कचरा है, कपड़ा है, उसके लिए भी हम पैसे देंगे आपको. So we are
right,
making that systems for the people so that it becomes easier. कचरे में नहीं डालना है यार, हम पॉकेट मनी तो रेस कर ही सकते हैं by giving away our used materials to the people. So that
right.
way we are trying to plan, and this is the future plans and everything. And I hope we'll be able to sum up this together and make this campaign a bigger campaign, so that next year we don't have to talk about air pollution. There are many other problems in the world.
Right, definitely. No, thank you, Dr. Chinuu. This was really interesting on the kind of work you're doing on ground. You know, connecting with the youth, connecting with the citizens, and bringing them in mainstreaming the awareness is something that we need, and that is why we all are here. Frankly speaking, in this gloomy weather in Delhi that we are breathing right now, every day the pollution level is so bad, but through this webinar it has given me positive hopes, like the TMC is doing such a good work. MPCB, they are taking a lot of initiatives, the citizen is so active, and frankly, I am feeling really good through this webinar, and hope you all have gained something out of this webinar, and will join us in creating awareness in our neighborhoods, in our surroundings. So thank you everyone
Madam,
for.
can I get a mobile number of Dr. Chinuu Katwara? We will
Ma'am,
definitely contact them.
I will definitely give it to you. I'll give it on online itself, because my mobile number is available to everyone.
Okay.
So it is 932
Huh. Yes.
33
Huh.
56789.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you very much. I will ring
Sure,
you.
definitely, definitely.
So this
Thank
is
you
the
so much,
kind of
Pratima.
platform we create where people can connect and work
Pratima, I
together.
want to appreciate you people. मैं बोल रहा हूँ 11 साल से I am working on ground, and I was waiting to talk to TMC. And I was just waiting because I've been there. I've tried my hands on. My fingers were burned when I went there. Things didn't went up in a right way. But I was really trying hard to speak to these authorized people, because they have power, and they are having willingness to do.
Right.
There is one thing is power and one thing is willing to do. So they are willing to do. So that's the reason we wanted to get in touch and prove that what we can do is wonders again if we are coming together and scaling it up. So
Yes.
all the credit goes to you people for this webinar.
Happy to
Yes,
help,
really.
and we are glad that you were able to connect to Manisha ma'am, and hope you keep doing the good work, and hope you
Yes,
get the
yes.
support from MPCB and other experts. So yeah, thank you everyone. Over to you, Shweta.
Thank you. Thank you.
Can we take some questions now?
Yes, I think there are
I'm little bit hurry, madam. I have to go to meeting.
Okay, so there is one question. Ambient monitoring stations, how many persons required? So probably Dr. Pramod is trying to ask that probably to install and monitor the data and maintain one station, how many resource people are required?
4 persons are required, madam.
Okay.
For shift wise, first, second, third, and one person for bringing sample and for resolve. Person.
Okay.
So each station 4 persons are required because it is continuous cycle.
Right. Okay. Great.
Shall I leave, madam?
Sorry?
I have a meeting. Shall I leave?
Sure, ma'am. Yeah, just give us 2 minutes, Shweta. Can you wrap up, please? You're on mute. Shweta, you are on mute.
Sorry. Thank you so much to all the panelists for taking out the time and engaging in this important discussion on country's air pollution crisis. The team at iFOREST is committed to continue this conversation across all platforms and forums, and we will be sharing press note with key findings with our friends and media and publishing it across all the social media channels as well. So, and we would be coming up with the other episodes of this webinar every week. So yes, stay tuned and thank you so much.